Are you tired of feeling like a passenger in your own life? Like you're just going through the motions, letting days slip by? Do you ever catch yourself wondering what happened to the fire, the drive, the unstoppable force you once thought you possessed? Maybe you've fallen into a routine, a comfort zone that's slowly suffocating your potential. The truth is, comfort is the enemy of progress. It's a siren song lulling you into mediocrity. You see the news, the world changing faster than ever, and you might feel like you're being left behind. The game is getting more intense, the stakes are higher, and if you keep hitting the snooze button on your potential, you'll find yourself playing catch-up your whole life. This isn't a motivational fluff piece. This is a call to arms, a wake-up slap to the soul. It's time to stop sleepwalking and start living deliberately, with purpose, with the intensity that you were meant to have. The world doesn't care about your excuses, it demands action. And today, you're going to learn how to take that action. This video will be broken into 5 crucial chapters. First, we will explore the anatomy of complacency, which will unravel how we get stuck in ruts and lose our drive. Next, we dive into the science of transformation. We'll break down the latest psychological findings on how to rewrite your mental programming. Then we move to the 3 pillars of unstoppable momentum, practical steps you can implement right away. After that, we'll cover strategies for a life beyond ordinary, focusing on creating a vision so compelling it will pull you forward. And finally, we'll talk about sustaining the revolution, because this isn't a short sprint, it's a lifelong marathon. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey that might just change everything. The destination is a life fully lived, a life under your control. And we will get to the takeaways later in the video. Chapter 1, the anatomy of complacency. Have you ever noticed how easily the human mind settles into a pattern? It's wired for efficiency. Once we find something that requires minimal effort and offers a modicum of comfort, our brains tend to stick there. This is the root of complacency. It's not necessarily laziness, it's an automatic response to reduce cognitive load. But the comfort we find in these routines becomes a prison of our own making. Think about it. The same commute, the same desk, the same news, the same conversations. These patterns might feel safe, but they also numb your senses. You stop noticing the opportunities around you. The world is vibrant and overflowing with possibility. But if you're living on autopilot, it's like watching a movie with the brightness turned down. Recent studies published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology highlight that individuals who prioritize predictability and routine are less likely to seek out novelty and face challenges, which are essential for growth. This isn't about condemning routine entirely. It's about recognizing when our routine is morphing into a rut that's holding us back. This gradual erosion of drive often happens imperceptibly. Like erosion of a mountain, it happens so slow you hardly notice the process until there are visible and irreversible changes. But what fuels this slide? It's often a mix of fear and a sense of learned helplessness. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of the discomfort that change inevitably brings. And then we convince ourselves that our situation is unchangeable. We think that we are not smart enough, old enough, have not enough money, or that we are not lucky. But it's not our reality. It's a mindset, a limiting belief that keeps you trapped. We have to break through this limiting mindset if we want to take control of our life. The media amplifies this sense of helplessness. Constantly bombarded with negativity, fear-mongering, and sensationalism, our collective psyche is easily convinced that we are powerless against the tides of fate. Reports on global crises, political upheavals, economic downturns, and the rise of AI further fuel the feeling that it's all out of our control. The 2023 report by the Pew Research Center regarding public trust in institutions also shows a significant decrease in people's faith in their governments, which is adding to the lack of the sense of control. We consume these narratives passively, internalizing them without even thinking that we can do something to improve our current reality. The constant exposure to stories about people being trapped by circumstances has a corrosive effect. It allows us to shift the blame and abdicate our responsibilities. We begin to believe that it's not our fault, that we are just victims. But this victim mentality is a self-perpetuating cycle. You have to understand that regardless of the circumstances, you have a choice about how you respond to those circumstances. And that choice is the key that unlocks the door to a life of control. We have to learn to recognize these patterns of complacency and helplessness, and then we can dismantle them. Because taking control begins with recognizing when you have lost it. It's time to dig deep and ask yourself, is this the life you want, or is this the life you've settled for? Chapter 2, The Science of Transformation. The good news is that science provides us with the tools to not only understand complacency, but to actively reprogram ourselves. The old idea that our brains are fixed in adulthood has been debunked. The phenomenon of neuroplasticity, which has been extensively studied in recent decades, shows that our brains are constantly changing and adapting. Research published in Nature Reviews Neuroscience demonstrates that we can consciously rewire our neural pathways through focused attention and repeated behaviors. This means you can literally build the neural infrastructure for drive, resilience, and unwavering purpose. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a tangible biological process. When you consistently practice a new behavior or thought pattern, your brain strengthens the connections related to those actions. Conversely, disuse weakens neural pathways. This concept, known as use it or lose it, means that by deliberately changing your habits and thinking, you can break free from the limitations of your current mindset. For instance, adopting a growth mindset, as popularized by Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck, involves believing that your abilities and intelligence are not fixed, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. Dweck's research indicates that individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges, learn from setbacks, and achieve greater success. This shift in perspective is fundamental to breaking free from complacency. You have to believe you can change. You have to believe your current situation is not a life sentence. Further, studies in the field of behavioral psychology have provided us with several techniques to break down old, unproductive habits and instill new ones. The concept of habit stacking, as detailed in James Clear's book Atomic Habits, involves connecting a new habit to an existing one. This creates a trigger mechanism that makes it easier to adopt positive behaviors. For example, if you're currently used to browsing social media first thing in the morning, you can stack a new habit on that, like doing 10 push-ups before checking your feeds. These small tweaks can have huge cumulative effects. Another powerful tool is the process of cognitive restructuring, which is a technique used in cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Cognitive restructuring involves identifying negative and irrational thoughts, challenging them, and replacing them with more realistic and empowering alternatives. This process helps to dismantle the self-defeating beliefs that are often at the root of inaction and complacency. This is not just about positive thinking, it's about accurate thinking. When you believe in your ability to change, you are more likely to persist in the face of challenges. The science is clear. Our brains are capable of radical transformation. It's a conscious choice. It's something that everyone is capable of. You have to believe in that power and then start exercising it. Now you may be asking, okay, but how do I actually do this? That's what we're going to get into in the next chapter. Chapter 3. The 3 pillars of unstoppable momentum. Let's translate this science into concrete action. There are 3 pillars that will lay the groundwork for taking control of your life: clarity, action, and consistency. First, clarity is the starting point. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. Most people fail not because they lack talent or potential, but because they lack a clear vision for what they want their life to be. What do you truly want? Not what your parents want, not what society tells you that you should want, but what deeply resonates with your soul. This is a process of self-discovery that requires both introspection and experimentation. It also means that you will have to be honest with yourself. What do you really want to do with your time on this earth? Take the time to journal, meditate, or just go for long walks to reflect on these questions. Once you identify your goals, make them specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Smart. Instead of vaguely saying, I want to be successful, ask yourself, what does success mean to you? How will you measure it? What is achievable for you now? How does it resonate with your values? And what's a reasonable timeline for that? You need to be able to visualize your goals with clarity. This clarity will serve as your compass as you will navigate the uncertainty of your path. The second pillar is action. Clarity without action is just a daydream. This is where many people get stuck. They have big ideas. They know what they want, but they fall into analysis paralysis. They overthink things. They procrastinate. The idea of taking that first step feels daunting. The thing is, the perfect moment never comes. You have to start where you are, with what you have, even if it feels imperfect. Break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps. Each small step, however imperfect it might seem in the moment, will begin to build momentum. And this momentum will pull you toward the bigger outcome. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. You don't have to figure out all the details of your future. You just need to figure out the next step. As the founder of the Nike brand, Phil Knight, said in his memoir, Shoe Dog, just do it. Don't overthink it. Just take the first small step toward your vision. The third, and often the most challenging, is consistency. You have to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Most people start strong, but then lose momentum. They do not have the persistence necessary to get through the rough patches. Success is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a compounding effect of the small actions that are repeated regularly over time. Creating consistent habits is not about being perfect. It's about showing up even when you fail. Building consistency is like building a muscle. You need to train it and exercise it regularly in order for it to grow strong. Don't give up at the first sign of setbacks or challenges. Keep moving, keep adapting, keep pushing forward. Clarity, action, consistency. These aren't just buzzwords. They are the bedrock of a life lived on your own terms. Chapter 4, Strategies for a Life Beyond Ordinary. Now that we have laid down the foundations for a life of purpose and action, let's talk about practical strategies that will help you to go beyond ordinary. The first strategy is to cultivate a learning mindset. The world is constantly evolving. New discoveries are made every day, new technologies, new ways of thinking. If you stop learning, you will become irrelevant. You don't have to spend all your time studying formal education, but you should seek out knowledge constantly and in any way you can. Read books, listen to podcasts, take online courses, engage in conversations with people from different backgrounds, and learn new things. Look for wisdom everywhere. This should become a lifelong habit. Secondly, it is crucial that you build a support network. No one achieves success in isolation. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, who support your vision. This does not mean that you have to have a large network. A few key connections can be more valuable than hundreds of superficial ones. Make sure that the people you choose to keep around will uplift you and inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Seek out mentors, build relationships with individuals who are doing what you want to achieve, and learn from their experiences. You will be surprised by how many people are willing to help if you are not afraid to ask. Another key element is to embrace discomfort. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. This is where the magic happens. Challenge yourself to try new things, face your fears, and step into the unknown. When you intentionally seek out challenging experiences, you build resilience and confidence. Every time you step outside your comfort zone and succeed, you are reinforcing the message that you are capable of much more than you think. This habit will make you unstoppable. Fourth, manage your energy, not your time. Time is a finite resource. It cannot be created or controlled, but energy can be managed. Focus on optimizing your sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress levels. When you take care of your body and mind, you have more resources to dedicate to your work and your goals. You will be able to make better decisions, concentrate easier, and have the energy to put in all the work that is necessary to make your dreams a reality. Finally, it's crucial to develop a personal philosophy. This serves as your guiding framework for life. Define your values, your principles, your purpose. This helps you to make choices that align with who you want to be and what you want to stand for. When you are clear on what you value, it becomes easier to make difficult decisions and prioritize your efforts. Life isn't just a journey. It's a project of conscious design, a creation you are responsible for. Chapter 5. Sustaining the Revolution. The journey of taking control is not a destination. It's a continuous process of growth, learning, and adaptation. Maintaining your momentum requires conscious effort and commitment. First, remember to celebrate your wins. Recognize and acknowledge your progress. Don't fall into the trap of constantly focusing on what you haven't achieved. Take time to appreciate how far you've come. This will keep you motivated. Second, actively seek out accountability. Find a friend, mentor, or coach to help keep you on track. Share your goals with people you trust. This creates a support system that holds you accountable for your progress. It's also good to make sure that you are accountable to yourself, to not break the promises you make yourself. Third, develop a process of self-reflection. Regularly assess where you are, how you feel, and how well are you aligned with your goals. Ask yourself if you are satisfied with your level of progress and if you need to make adjustments to your plans. This is an ongoing process of adjustment that will help you to make sure that you are in alignment with your purpose. Use this process not to beat yourself up, but to learn and move forward. Fourth, learn to embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Setbacks are inevitable. Instead of letting them derail you, use them as fuel to propel you forward. Every challenge is a chance to learn and grow. Resilience is not about avoiding failure, it's about bouncing back from it. Finally, keep cultivating your vision. Your goals may evolve as you do. Continue to refine your clarity and keep yourself in alignment with your life purpose. Your journey may take unexpected turns. That is okay, as long as you remember to remain centered to the foundational principles that make you who you are. Taking control of your life is a lifelong commitment. It's a decision to live consciously, deliberately, and with purpose. There will be ups and downs, good days and bad days, successes and failures. But you have to keep moving forward. This is a journey of self-mastery. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, a master of your own fate. We've covered a lot of ground today. Remember this, your life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. It's your time. Go and take it. We are at the end of the video. Let's summarize what we've learned. The first important thing to understand is that complacency is the enemy of progress. It's an automatic response that has to be overcome with the active choice to reprogram your mind. Science has given us many tools that can help us rewire our mind. You have to have clarity, action, and consistency to create unstoppable momentum in your life. Finally, you have to learn strategies for life beyond ordinary, which involve cultivating a learning mindset, building a strong support network, embracing discomfort, managing your energy, and developing a personal philosophy. So go out there and create an extraordinary life.